ciao, konbanwa. All right, I've been back from Tokyo for about a week and a half. I've had time to reflect on things, how the trip was. In this video, I want to talk about, this is one of the main questions I was asked. Are people from Japan nicer, or are people from Vietnam nicer? And I think there's going to be conflicting answers to each one of these things, so I'm going to try to get into a non-biased answer, you know, what my actual answer was to what I really think happened with the whole deal, and yada yada yada. So I've been to Japan before, we've talked about that. On this trip I took more notices because I have now lived in another major metropolis and now in Southeast Asia myself, so I was able to look at Japan quite a bit differently than I did previously, and things were much different for me in a different way of a mindset. The way that everything is completely controlled and rules and everybody lines up for everything, there's a kind of an amazingness about it too. As far as the people, which is what this video is about, I feel that they're both super friendly people. But to be more honest with you, I think it's easily to approach a Vietnamese, especially if you're in a tourist city like Saigon. One, they just are keen to talk and keen to practice English. There's like a million reasons why they're super stoked about it. Japanese people are cool with that too, but they're not like trying to practice English. They're not even trying to learn English, so it's a totally different thing. Like people here, they're excited to be on camera. Usually the people would say hi. If I had the big camera, they would definitely like say hi and stuff. So I think overall in that way, Vietnamese are, I think, a bit more friendly and a bit more approachable on that front. Now you can approach any Japanese person. If you watch me live stream, we got lost in the subway a million times during my travels in Tokyo. I guess during the holiday and something going on with all their like tourist subway cars that I had to use the ticket system, and so did everybody else that pretty much didn't have a Passmo yet or know somebody that had one. So figuring that out, I mean, I now know how to use the classic way a subway system's made, just the ticket punch system and looking up the numbers and putting in the fare yourself. So that was a good experience in the long run, but I had to ask people for help all the time, and they were super friendly and super keen to like help anytime I got lost. Like if I would ask an old guy, for example, on the train tracks, like which way to go, and he was going the same way by chance, he would make sure I got to where I showed him where I'm going. You know, I think even sometimes they stayed on the train to help me get to the place, even possibly. That's how like polite they are with that stuff. So it's like a different type of politeness. You know, I don't think one is above the other, to be honest with you. I just think one is more approachable. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I feel like it's pretty easy to approach in Vietnam and maybe know, especially if the person's younger, you're gonna have a pretty good shot at like some kind of English. If the person is older, you're not gonna have too great of a shot at English unless they're in like the tourism industry, like these ladies, like massage ladies, like what we just saw, or figurine salesmen, or you know. So for the most part, that's the way it's gonna go. Japanese, not many take English. Not many want to learn English. I mean, if somebody's keen into like Western culture, yeah, they're gonna maybe know a little bit of English, but it's gonna be a tougher time to get around. But to say this, honestly, both countries are difficult to get around because really nobody knows English at either one. So you have to be quite mindful of all that stuff at the same time. As far as going to each country, you definitely should. I still think Tokyo is a top 1 or 2, 3 tier city in the world. Now that I'm going to more places and at different times in my life where my brain's at a little bit different of a mindset, I look at things a bit differently. So I'll eventually come out with like a ranking system in my head of like top places you have to go when you're in Asia. But definitely Tokyo's still 1 or 2 or 3. I wouldn't quite exactly know where to tell you to put it now, but it's a city where you need to plan. You need to plan every day. It's massively huge. I think people forget that. It's not like a movie or a TV show or anything like that where you can just like jump on a train and go somewhere in 5 minutes. You know, anywhere you're gonna go, it's like an hour, half hour at best. So you need to plan your area, plan your days, coordinate geographically on a map to do it correctly, you know. If you do want to see all the Japan videos that I shot in 4K for the YouTube channel, I ended up putting them all on Patreon. So we're talking about Japan in this video, but this is okay. Like actual stuff I shot in Japan, if you want to see like Japan shot content, you're gonna need to go over to the patreon.com/fatandbroke. So we have talked about it. We're doing a bit of rebranding. The new brand is Z Bats. That is my name, Chris Bats, and the last name's BATZ. So the new channel on the live stream for kick.com is ZBATZ. Z Bats with 2 Z's. If you think about it, it's not confusing. Literally Z Bats, Z Bats, 2 Z's. So as far as the YouTube, for the Fat and Broke Vietnam stuff, that's gonna stay. And when we travel, we're gonna put stuff on the Z Bats YouTube channel and build up that channel on its own as well. So I'll put a trailer up for that. There'll be integration into the videos to go over to there. So you have the option to check that out when we start uploading over there. Yeah. So I mean, you really need to go to both these places for yourself. Japan is way more expensive. I would not go in the winter or even in the fall like I did. I would say summer, spring going into summer when it's 75 to 80 degrees is the best time to go. It's gonna be the most expensive time to go because other people that have been there know this as well. But it's the way to go. If you're gonna stay geographically somewhere and you like to party, you're definitely gonna be in Shinjuku quite a bit. I would advise you stay in Shinjuku. The more ahead you book, the better your hotel rate's gonna be. Those APAs, the Kabuchiko APAs are all great. I stayed in them. If you have no money, you can stay in a Hikikomori chamber at an internet cafe. If you want to see what it's like to actually stay at an internet cafe in Tokyo, in Shinjuku, on one of the most expensive nights of the year in Tokyo, check out the Patreon. It's on there. And it's very cheap to sign up, $5 a month. So if you feel like supporting me in extra ways, that's one of the best places you can do it. So I mean, Japan was amazing. The most friendly people in the world. The expats are super friendly. The community was great. You know, we've met very, very few people that actually got bent out of shape. I think I got pressed actually one time by one lady in one place that got bent out of shape, some Japanese lady. And she was going on about like Johnny Sommelier. So we did a 10-minute piece about what I think about Johnny Sommelier. And what I think I did on the live stream that's over on Patreon. This sounds like a big Patreon commercial, but Da Vinci, what's Da Vinci? Oh, now it's a dining and lounge. Oh, it's some bullshit. So Cosmos is gone. Bonus content, now this is Da Vinci's. So it's changed 4 million times. Now it's not even open, so. How many people have this place scammed out of money over and over again? Who knows what's going on with that? Alright guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the Tokyo content. I hope you enjoyed live streaming. We are live streaming on kick.com/ZBats. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Stay frosty. Peace out.